In session one, we had a look at the complete process of the acquisition system, products, and ICT system up to the stage of making the statement of case as well as the acceptance of necessity. In session two, we'll have a look at the balance of the flow chart that is up to the contract negotiating committee as well as the selection of the vendor, which makes this chapter very, very special. After the acceptance of necessity has been taken from the approving authority, the first step would be a pre-RFP discussion in order to finalize the RFP. This is extremely important, especially in these systems, as well as in the rest of the procurement process it was required. Thereafter, it is the solicitation of offer, which is the issue of the RFP, and the evaluation of the offers that have come in the response of the vendors. The RFP, additional aspects to the RFP that are issued out for the balance of the previous procedures that we saw. The first important aspect is the information security, that the procurement process should focus on selection of trusted firms having established and proven credentials track record. That means it cannot be given to just any company that bids for it. A security audit has to be included in fashion of security checks requirement and costs are factored in. The bidders have to share the source code, the software and equipment design for sanitization, verification, and audit. Now, in case the source code is not a deliverable, then the bidder has to extend their facilities for the audit by the teams designated for the source code. The commit to audit by the cert in paneled agency, that commitment has to be given. For purposes of spyware/malware, the PCB designs and also assurance to allow the security audit of these platforms is required. Tools to carry out are specified and details of active and highly active components are laid out. We'll come to these terminologies later on. Selling of customized solution exclusively developed under contract to some other country is not allowed. That means he is bound not to share the solution with anybody else. The entrance, the task, the verification, as also very importantly, the exit criteria should the system not be developed as desired, is outlined to benchmark success/failures. There are specific milestones to be achieved, and these are benchmarked in the RFP at each stage. Maintenance support for the entire life cycle is required, including warranty, maintenance, spares, and technical support. Warranty of three issues. One is the update. Updates are modification, corrections, or addition to software. Patches, which may be additional programming codes which are required to be integrated with the software to correct an error or to alleviate its effect that has been noticed. Upgrades, which would be the enhancement, addition to software other than update. Normally, this is not provided by the vendor. The AMC and the ATS clause is also included. The AMC in this case is minimum for 5 years. It should cater for all upgrades, updates, integration, new technology as and when it comes in. Software updates and bug fixes. Also, ATS, which are the software maintenance aspects, would be included in the RFP. The issue of trials for such projects, wherever hardware is required, a field evaluation is required to be carried out. However, if it is a software, a proof of concept is required to be done. So for ICT projects, less for the hardware purpose, a proof of concept is done. But for the system projects, less the software, the field evaluation is carried out, followed by the staff evaluation. So trials are normally held for system projects and parts of hardware supplied with the ICT projects. Now, the problem is that the system oblique the ICT modules may function well in isolation, but when they introduced into the required integrated system, at times, due to the lack of integration, they fail, and therefore alterations be required. In order to be able to do so, a test bed has to be established to prove it. For this, additional trial period is required, as well as the expertise for final migration in phases is required. For the purposes of this, consultants may be hired in case in-house expertise is not available. Acceptance test procedures may also require third-party tools, as also specialized manpower and equipment would be required, and these would have to be mentioned in the RFP. For the ICT software products and the software of the system projects, as I brought about, a proof of concept may be demonstrated before coming on to the aspect of staff evaluation. Now in the flow chart is the contract negotiating committee, the CNC. And this is where the major difference between the previous projects and an ICT system projects comes about. Now there are two basic methods of evaluation of who the contract is to be given to are there: cost-based selection method and the quality and cost-based selection. The first one, which is the cost-based selection, is the normal method in which the lowest bidder, where the requirement is of basic or highly standardized nature, the CBS system is adopted, which is a normal thing of giving the lowest bidder the contract. It is based on the cost of the complete asset or the cost of service. Now, where this chapter has a new system introduced is the quality and cost-based selection QCBS method, which is colloquially called as L1 T1 concept. In this, the weightages are given. For the technical portion, there is a weightage of 60%. These are the non-price attributes, the technical capability of the particular system being provided. For the financial criteria, which are the price attribute, a 40% weightage is provided. Therefore, the technical portion has got a greater weightage as compared to the the financial weightages. Now, the evaluation criteria and the weightage for each one of the attributes is mentioned in the RFP. That means, are you giving what type of weightage are you giving to each one of the attributes that you want will have to be specified first. As per the process, the technical proposal of the vendor is first evaluated and it is given a score out of 100. Now the vendor has to attain a minimum technical score. This minimum technical score is specified in the RFP. He goes on to the next stage of analyzing his financial bid only if he scores the minimum technical score, otherwise he does not go ahead. This technical score, abbreviated as ST, is based on a criteria. All the technical fields for the evaluation is deliberated by a collegiate and it is approved by the RFP approving authority, and I said that it was included into the RFP. Basic aspects that are considered is the experience in the past ICT projects, domain experts and PM consultancy, project management consultancy. To what extent are they met or exceeded or laid down in the SQR, performance in proof of concept, experience and profile of the team members, quality of the technical proposal, assessment and procurement of hardware infrastructure, experience in working in multiple system integration, designing and implementation of the Internet of Things. For calculating the financial score, the lowest cost is given a score of 100, that the bidder giving the lowest cost is given a score of 100. And other proposals are given the financial score inversely proportional to their evaluated cost. Now, for example, the financial score would be the price of the lowest financial proposal divided by the price of the proposal under consideration. Combining the technical score and the financial score at a weightage of 60% and 40% respectively would give us the final combined score. And the bidders are marked as H1, H2, H3 based on the decreasing S, and the H1 is invited for negotiation and consideration for award of contract. If there is a possibility of the two or more vendors having the same S, that is the final combined score of both the technical and the financial, the one that has the higher technical score between them will be given the contract. Therefore, the emphasis again on the technical aspect. Thereafter, the normal procedure takes place, that is the CFA sanction is taken and the award of contract is done.
My sessions, which I've taken of the various chapters of DAP 2020, are available on YouTube, on my Google blog, Knowledge Enabler Defense Procurement, as well as on my LinkedIn account. I'm also broadcasting to anyone who wants to receive this message with the video into the WhatsApp inbox. In case you're not receiving it, and should you want to do so, please just send me want to receive on the mobile number given on the slide. I will only send DAP sessions and nothing else. Do subscribe to my Google blog. It's free, and further disseminate these videos to all that who require it and can take maximum benefit from it. Please do also like my sessions. It shall be encouraging for me. Thank you so very much.
In this session, we had a look at as to the flow chart up to the level of the CNC and as to how the quality cum cost based system operates. In the next session, we will have a look at one of the examples of the quality cum cost based selection system, the change management that comes into being of such a high-tech project, the security, the IPR, and the indigenous content issues.